guys, it is April from Getting Hooker With It. Today is day 5 of the Sweet Autumn Reads series, and today we are going to be talking about dead bodies in nonfiction. So if you're ready, I'm ready. So let's get into it. Although I haven't read any of these books, each and every one of them sounds amazing. So the first book I want to recommend is The Undertaker's Daughter by Kate Mayfield. Now, this is a memoir by Kate, and she actually grew up in a funeral home. Her dad was an undertaker, so for the first 13 years of her life, she lived kind of surrounded by death and corpses. Now, this was in the South. I believe that she lived in Kentucky, and she lived in a small town in Kentucky, and everyone knew everyone else's business, but everything was a kind of polite way of living. And then she would see these people that she knew in town at their worst, of course, because they're dealing with death when they show up at her door. And it's about her experience. I can't imagine that kind of upbringing. My childhood was running around outside and playing with Barbies, and I can't imagine there being like dead bodies in the basement and that just being normal. So I'm really interested in reading this one. The next book I have for you is another memoir, and it is Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlin Doughty. Now, this follows her experience working at a crematory. So she goes right into detail about, sweeping up ashes, handling dead bodies, driving them around in a van, and apparently this book is incredibly funny. I've heard so much buzz about this on BookTube. I am personally extremely eager to read this. It's on my fall TBR, so I'm sure I'll be getting to a review or at least a wrap-up pretty soon. And then Caitlin Doughty is also coming out with a brand new book in October. I think it comes out early October. And this new book is called From Here to Eternity, Traveling the World to Find the Good Death. And in this book, Caitlin explores whether or not America has it right when it comes to death, whether or not our way of honoring the dead is correct. She explores funeral customs from around the world. I think Indonesia is one of the countries that she dives into, and I think Mexico is another one. I think that is really fascinating. I just think that our culture kind of shies away from death. Funerals are so poised and impersonal, even though it's the most personal thing that you would be going through as grievers. And so I'm interested in seeing how the rest of the world mourns and how the rest of the world takes care of their dead. The next book is Rest in Pieces by Bess Lovejoy. And this book sounds like so much fun. You explore what happens to some of the most famous characters in history. So for example, I didn't realize that counterfeiters tried to steal Lincoln's corpse, and I also didn't realize that Einstein's brain went on a little cross-country road trip. What are the chances? So this book sounds absolutely fascinating. I, for one, would love to read it. Now, the last book is Stiff by Mary Roach, and in this book, she dives right into the experience of the dead body. What happens to your body after you die? How does it decompose? And she also goes into the science and the history of science surrounding corpses and how human cadavers were treated throughout history and their use. Apparently Mary Roach is also incredibly funny, and I've never read anything by her. I will see you tomorrow for classic book retellings. Okay, see you later. Bye!